I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am Levi.
And I'm Shane.
And we're back.
We are.
And nothing's different, and everything's the same. Same as it ever was.
Yeah.
Same as it ever was. What?
Why aren't you wearing your beanie tonight?
It's just, it was just felt like a nice day to have the wind in my hair,
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you do to your ears? They just look lower.
Yeah, I got that new ear lowering surgery. It's I don't know. It's experimental, they say, but I thought it would help my appearance. My ears were lower.
I just want to say that only one of us is supposed to be pretty, and I thought I had that mantle because you're the one that's like articulate and fucking so deep. And now you're just trying to steal the whole fucking show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had it. You're just like, first you start the other podcast without me. Now you're making yourself look beautiful. This is fucking bullshit.
Oh, okay. Well, for those of you who are listening, I got a haircut, and that's where all of this anger is coming from.
And if you've never watched any of the videos and only listened to the audio, Levi used to have real long, flowy ginger Fabio hair.
Yeah. Ginger Jesus. Yeah. Well, I'll talk about it after you read the Patreon, people. 'Cause
Okay.
I feel like it'll probably get us down a random rabbit hole.
I like it. All right. We'd like to thank Adam Pacino, Mark Stadler, Kylie Gangwish, Colby Jordan, Colton Zamersla, Chantel, and Kevin Garahan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to be one of those people, go to the link tree in the description, and then you can find all of the links, all the pertinent links for anything that has to do with us, really.
Yeah.
You go there, you go to YouTube, you can leave comments, you can check out my new haircut. We only got 2 comments from last week's episode, and it's our whales talking to himself or herself, themselves. First comment says, "Great episode, guys." And then the second one says, "I am the top commenter. Eat my shorts, Kylie. LOLJK." You're the only commenter, so
I mean, by their logic, they are the top commenter. Just saying.
yeah. 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 Large groups of 1. Yeah, you're the top.
Oh, man.
Anyway, back to the real news that people actually care about. Yeah, so I decided to cut my hair. Kind of been working on this decision. I've been talking it through
With your
talking
therapist?
through it with myself. No, just because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do I really want to do that again? I don't know. It seems like now I gotta get a haircut so frequent to keep it looking sharp as I would like it to, and I just kind of convinced myself to do it, and I'm glad I did, because I gotta tell you, I've been feeling real confident lately the last 3 days that I've done this, and I'm sending off snaps. I'm like, oh shit, fucking, is this David Beckham? What's happening? Also, I cut it on Thursday, and then I worked on Friday, and I didn't tell anybody that I cut it, anybody that I worked with that I talked to.
Yeah.
And tell any of them. And so I just showed up to work like this, and everybody was like, fucking what? Because they've never met me with shorter hair. You at least have seen me with shorter hair for a big chunk. Actually, most of the time that we've known each other,
Yeah.
I had hair like this. So for them, they've only known me with long hair, and they were really thrown off. And I started keeping tally of how many people made comments about it while I worked, and it was 53. So, yeah. And I was like, I don't know. It was weird because half of them were just like, "You got a haircut," and then that's it. I'm like, Yeah, I knew that, actually. Thank you for telling me, though. And it reminded me of the Mitch Hedberg joke where the guy sees him on TV and then sees him at the airport the next day. He's like, you just confirmed that I was on the television. You didn't say whether or not you thought I was good. Like, yeah, I did get a haircut. Thank you, I guess. I don't know. So, but I did get a lot of compliments on it, naturally.
Nice.
Because you can see. Yeah, let's see. I'm too powerful.
I know.
Game over.
I'm against it. Grow your hair back out right now, damn it.
Just like the SpongeBob movie where that guy just like mustache.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, but anyway.
This weekend was my son's birthday so yesterday was my son's birthday.
Yeah.
And he turned 8. And if any of you lovely people want to hear me and my son talk, this week's subscriber only episode is me and my son talking, and it was fun, to say the least.
Yeah. Not challenging at all.
Not
either,
challenging at all.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was going to be a lot of fun. I thought he was going to start talking about something random. We were just going to run with it.
Yeah.
Couldn't get him to
clammed up. Huh?
Dude, yeah, he couldn't get him to open up. Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, I don't know. I have this, like, I don't know. It's an experience I have with my niece and nephew whenever I have, like, my phone out for, like, Snapchat, and they want to do, like, the face filters on it.
Oh, yeah.
They're, like, obsessed with the face filters, but then I'll, like, start recording them, and they'll just kind of, like, stop and, like, move their head around a little bit. And then, like, they won't actually say anything, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you just want to see that you look goofy. Like, you don't have any, like, thoughts on what kind of silly thing to do. And, like, I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me. But, yeah.
Yeah.
When you were telling me about Emmett not, like, not wanting to talk on his own and, like, how much silence you had to edit out of it, it reminded me of when I was little. Like, I was 7, maybe 8, I don't know. It was either one of those two ages, though, because had to have been 8. My stepsister had a birthday party at our house, and she didn't stay with us. She lived with her mom, but then she would come over every other weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she decided to have a birthday party with all her friends, and they're all in middle school. They're older than me. I'm in elementary school, and we had like an old school camcorder, like with like tape loader and shit.
Yeah.
And they were just being kids with like just fucking around, making funny videos. And in my head, I was like, well, I think that I should probably just do Crocodile Hunter. Like, because there's a camera, and in my head, I'm like, there's only one solution. So I was like, I'm just gonna run around and pretend I'm Steve Irwin the whole time. This was before he had died.
Yeah.
So I was like, crikey, looks like we're gonna live one here. It's like, just like, be careful, don't get too close. Like, but I'm like this little like not a toddler, but I'm a child, and they're still children, but they're in middle school, so they might as well be 40 to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like trolling the shit out, like just being obnoxious and bouncing off the walls. And I was like, I don't know, having the best time. It was good. I don't know what they thought of it, but probably annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got called back upstairs quite a few times. Like, I remember watching the video and I could hear my name being called. I'm like, oh shit. Like, leave him alone. Anyway.
Yeah, man. He's like asked a lot. Like, I want to say maybe he's like the last like 2 or 3 weekends he's been over. He's like, Dad, can I be on the show with you and Levi? And I was like, another time. And then he asked last night, and I was like, you know what? I was like,
actually,
let's go do this.
Yeah.
And I was stoked because like he talks nonstop.
Yeah.
And I was like, here, bud, just talk into the mic. Say whatever you want, and we'll roll with it. And he goes, okay, Dad.
Yeah.
And then as a backup, I had like a random question generator to try to like keep
gotcha.
pushing the conversation along.
Yeah.
And I ended up just like using the hell out of that thing.
Yeah. That's kind of fun though.
Yeah, I at one point in the episode, I remind him that no one is gonna see like him because
He's doing.
Yeah, because he keeps like making like exaggerated faces and like looking
Yeah.
directly at the camera, and I'm like, dude, no one's gonna see that, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what you need to do next time is just like hide the view, like hide the camera,
Yeah,
like through OBS so it doesn't show up,
yeah,
and that way he's just like sitting there in the moment. But maybe next time he'll be a little more in tune with it too. I don't know.
yeah. I'm gonna try again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was like before we started recording, he goes, "I'm gonna be on YouTube," and I was like, "No, you're not."
All right.
But
Oh.
yeah,
You know, he's gotta make him one of those unboxing people.
dude,
where
he
they
wants
just
to have a
make
YouTube
millions
channel.
of dollars just open up toys. That sounds like the best.
Dude, I know he wants a YouTube channel so bad. I'm like, bud, after we've recorded, I was like, see, bud, you're not ready.
It's a lot harder than you thought, huh? Oh no. Yeah. I don't know how some of those kids do it. Like, well, obviously the parents are probably, hopefully, involved in most of them, but it just seems like it's a lot of work too, because I remember struggling with like basic fundamental tasks, like, you know, remembering to eat regularly as a child. Like, if I was home by myself for long, like, it would be like I'd either snack a lot or not at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they have like this, and maybe these are just, you know, those like type A personality kids where you can just, this is what we're gonna do, and then they just do it. But I can't imagine what that is like. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well,
Let's get
do you
into
got any news stories, or do you want me to go?
I got some quick ones. Let's see. This is nothing big, but Macaulay Culkin just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty dope.
Yeah, I seen the pictures of him and what's her name?
The
don't ever remember.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, the mom from Home Alone movies.
Home Alone. Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty cool that she got to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Also, forgot that he was married to Brenda Song from
Dude.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Some men have it all, you know.
Have you seen? There's that movie where it's about these two friends that go on a trip to Thailand, and while they're there, it's Seth Green and somebody, I can't remember the other guy's name, but it's Seth Green and this other guy, and they go because Seth Green is like getting a divorce, and so they go party
Yeah.
like crazy, and Macaulay Culkin just out of nowhere is just this like cool, like semi like druggy dude just hanging out with them, taking them down this like crazy experience. And then like Brenda
Yeah.
Song is like their bartender, and I was like, these dudes, they plan this shit perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Did like Seth Green direct it and shit too, or what?
I don't actually know. That's a great question.
Yeah. No, I have not seen that. I don't even remember the last Seth Green movie that I've actually watched. Probably one of the Austin Powers movies. Or like has Family Guy made any movies?
Changeland.
Changeland. No, I've never seen
Changeland.
that.
It's it was directed by Seth Green. Yeah, Seth Green, Beckenmeyer, Macaulay Culkin, and Brenda Song.
Yeah. Breckenmeyer. He's always in all that stuff too. Yeah. He's also, him and Seth Green both did voices on Robot Chicken.
I knew Seth
don't
did.
know.
I didn't know that Brecken did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the only reason I remember that is just because he said, like, a lot of the characters sounded a lot like the dude from Rat Race, and that's Breckenmeyer. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, one day I just kind of had a epiphany about it.
Okay.
But I like when directors do self-service like that, where they are like, all right, well, yeah, it turns out there's this, you know, random side character that gets to make out with Angelina Jolie. That's weird. I guess I'll play him. I think the most famous one that's going around right now is the Quentin Tarantino and
Selma
God, what
Hayek.
the fuck is? Yeah, Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the movie's called. It's like,
Isn't that from? It's not from Dusk Till Dawn, or
yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn.
yeah,
It's like she fucking pours a tequila shot down her feet, and yeah,
sucks her toes.
yeah.
He's like,
The guy with like the second most notable foot fetish in like, I don't know. Well, I guess in the movies he's probably the most known. Second is the dude from Nickelodeon, the Dan Schneider guy.
it's so crazy to imagine that nobody. Oh, he's just sitting around. He's like, oh, nobody is gonna audition for this part where they suck on Salma Hayek's toes. I guess I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, damn. No. Whatever. It's the pains of making films.
Yeah, it's a
You
rough
gotta-
life. But somebody's got to do it.
It's so crazy. Or like, I don't know if he directed it or not, but there's a fourth wall break in We're the Millers.
Okay. Yeah.
And at one point, Jason Sudeikis is like, he looks at the camera and just kind of like shrugs when Jennifer Aniston's doing her stripper dance.
Yeah.
Like when the drug guy catches them in that like auto parts thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's just like, looks right at the camera like, oh, all right. Like, you're welcome, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm actually glad that you brought up Jason Sudeikis because he's in a new Christmas movie with Jennifer Gardner. And
Do tell.
Yeah, it's called Family Switch. It's on Netflix. It's a played out like thing, like where like parents and kids swap bodies, but they make fun of themselves. Like they know, like they at one point in the movie they make a comment about how, oh, this is just like 13 going on 30 or 17 again. Like
Yeah. They say that in the movie.
they say that in the movie, making fun of you.
That's hilarious.
So, and it's done really well. Like we talked about it before on one of the past episodes where that director said that you can't make good comedies anymore.
Yeah.
And I have to disagree with, at least just off this movie itself, because like this is a brand new movie and it's a Christmas movie, so usually Christmas movies suck.
Yeah.
It's done really well though.
So that's also not Jason Sudeikis though. That's
not?
Ed Helms. Yeah.
Same difference.
Two completely different people.
They look real similar. Put their
Yeah.
two pictures up next to each other, and that's the
Just
definition
two
of
white guys with like
that's the definition of typical white guy.
Yeah, just combed hair, and then but I don't look anything like them.
If you're not a typical white guy, you're a ginger.
Oh yeah, true. All right, valid argument. So that means when you comb your hair, you look just like him.
Pretty much, dude.
Yeah,
I could-
that's true.
I
get
could
it
be his
now.
body double for sure.
Oh no. All right, what else you got?
The last one, and you're not gonna like this one too much.
Oh boy.
But in 2020, a guy named David Fuller was tied to 2 murders from 1987.
Yeah.
He was a mortuary technician, and his job only matters because it's not funny. It is. It's only funny because I told Levi about this story earlier in the week, and he was like, "No."
This is like the first thing I wake up to. Granted, you're on nights now,
Yeah.
and I'm not, so you're like wide awake when you're sending me this stuff, and I'm like, I just wake up, and this is the first thing I like open, my messages and like see what people are sending me, and you're like, all right, so I click on, I'm like, God damn it, why? Go ahead and tell the people.
All right. So David Fuller has been tied to. What do you call this? Like they're pretty much he got found. It's proven that he had sex with over 100 dead women from.
That's necrophilia.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you'd call it though, but yeah, it was. Ugh.
Just acts of necrophilia.
Yeah, they were able to prove 101 times. Like he just did 101 different women, and
Oh my god.
and the ages are like it's like 9 to 50 something. Like
Ugh. Here's the worst part: is it's over 100 different cases, but how many times per body?
right. I had a different article and I can't find that one. In that other article, they said that specifically they went back and looked in the logs, and he visited the same like mortuary sometimes like 40 times in a month.
Ugh.
Just what was funnier was after the investigation, some of the stuff they said to like to make it to where that couldn't happen again was, you know, check the logs, you know, actually like see who's going in and out, make sure people who are in there have their badges on at all times. And I was like, this just sounds like normal stuff.
Yeah, like you mean doing your job? Yeah. Yeah, you should probably do that. I have a friend who's going through like mortuary school right now.
Yeah.
And she posted a thing one day and she's like, did you know that like most like jobs for mortuaries are like females are more likely to get that job? And she's like, and it's exactly why you think, like, which is disturbing to say the least. And it's crazy that the whole industry is kind of just like, I guess we should probably just hire more women because there's too many dudes fucking the dead bodies, I guess. I don't know. What the fuck, dude?
Oh man, it makes me think of that scene from Bad Boys 2 where old dudes fucked up on ecstasy, laying with that dead girl on the table, playing with her boobs.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah. It also reminds me of that Sam Kinison joke where he talks about this was back in the 80s that there was dudes who were paying to have time with like the freshest corpses in mortuaries. Like they were like, hey man, here's some money, you guys go ahead and skedaddle. But it was dude on dude dead body, like, yeah. Which I feel like if you're going so far as to go with a dude or like a dead body, you could probably just go a hole's a hole at this point. You know what I mean? Like you're already crossing all of the boundaries.
Ugh.
So why you gotta have a preference? You know, that's weird. But yeah, so like his whole bit kind of just culminated in him pretending to be the dead guy. It's like, all right, yeah, I'm ready to be, you know, at peace with go heaven, be with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Hey, what's going on down there? Hey.
God, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. I guess here's a good transition. In other news of people getting fucked inappropriately, Florida State not going to the college football playoff despite having an undefeated record and their Power 5 conference title. How do you feel about that?
What happened?
Well, here's the thing, is Alabama beat the formerly undefeated Georgia Bulldogs in the SEC title game. The previously 29-0 Georgia Bulldogs, and they're like, you know what? Even though they lost to Texas, that's good enough for Alabama to get a playoff title. And then since Alabama gets a playoff or like a chance at the playoffs, they had to bring Texas in because Texas beat Alabama and also won the Big 12 title.
Oh wow!
But Florida State, who hasn't lost to anybody all year, also won their title and doesn't get to go to the playoffs because of that situation.
Huh.
Meanwhile, you know, you have Washington and Michigan, who both won their respective titles and also, you know, were undefeated. And those two make sense because, you know, they won out. They didn't lose at all. They won their title. Cool. But then you have this weird thing. And I think they're expanding to either they were talking about it or they're going to expand to a 12-game playoff next year, which I think will be good because you get first-round buys for 4 teams. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you get teams like that shouldn't have been put in that'll have to fight for their spot in.
Yeah.
Where you could give one of those 4 spots to an undefeated Power 5, you know, team. So it's interesting. Florida, or not Florida, definitely not Florida. They're not going. Michigan is going to play Alabama in the Rose Bowl, and then Washington is going to play Texas, and I don't remember what bowl game they're playing. But so that'll be good. it'll be interesting. I kind of am really excited to see Michigan and Alabama play because Michigan's kind of, despite all of the sign stealing allegations and everything that's been going on with them controversially, their team's solid. So it's like, okay. And plus, I have to root for the Big Ten, just because.
Okay.
Washington would be cool. Like, Penix is their quarterback, and he's a fucking baller. Like, he's just killing it every fucking game. Like, he doesn't seem to have any downsides. That would be cool to see them in the big, big show. And since they're playing Texas first, I really hope they just fucking curb stomp them, because I just don't like Texas.
All right.
Yeah. Well, they used to be in the Big 12, where they're moving to the SEC, but Nebraska used to be in the Big 12, and that was always like a fucking shit show game. We just never could beat Texas, and a lot of animosity towards them. But
yeah, I can feel it.
yeah. In other sports-related news, Detroit wins again. What? This is crazy.
Shut up. We're not talking about that. How dare you?
The Packers just beat the Chiefs just now.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of beat the shit out of them, like, a little bit. Like, the score wasn't as, like, detrimental to how it, like, looked, but they were kind of all sides of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching it for most of the time, and pretty soundly beaten. But
And then Eagles lost to the 49ers. That was another thing. That was another
Yeah.
game I didn't expect to happen.
that was a crazy game. Yeah, it looked like it was going to be real tight, and then the Niners just pulled away. It's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched any of their games today, but there's a lot of big injuries. What's his name from Steelers guy?
Steelers guy.
The
TJ Watt.
quarterback for the Steelers? No. Well, he also got hurt, but I think he came back in.
Okay.
The quarterback for the Steelers, yeah. Kyle Pitts? No, not Kyle Pitts. I don't know. He got it hurt. He's super important, obviously. Kenny Pickett. There we go. Nailed it. Yeah. So, sports news.
Yeah.
Sports news. So I found a lot of really fun headline stories. So we don't have time for all of them, but here are some of my favorites.
Okay.
Naked streaker stuns Disneyland ride goers. Here's the thing. Man was filmed tearing off his clothes and crawling around the iconic It's a Small World ride.
Why?
Which, hilariously, like, I don't know if it was like all just a big dick joke, but if it was, that's hilarious because, like, it's a small world, then he starts streaking in there. Obviously not great because there's probably children there. Actually, there had to have been. It's Disney, but anyway, he didn't make it very far. He was apprehended pretty quickly, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really say why he did it, just that he did do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if you
So
want to be
anyway.
banned from Disney World for the rest of your life, that's how you do it.
I bet Disney does the thing like North Korea does when you try to defect and they like punish like 8 generations of your family too. They're like Disney seems aggressive.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your mom.
Yeah, like you and every man in your family is also not allowed to come here ever again. And then they just like have it in a record in the super advanced security system, like put you in one of those drop floor things like in cartoons.
Yep.
And then they turn you into an animatronic, and then you're in the Small World ride. What? Go ahead.
And I just can't believe that, man. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like that's a terrible place. Obviously no place is great to go streaking, but I feel like
Yeah.
Disney's on the wrong side of that. Just because I guarantee you that guy gets some kind of like sex offender fucking.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because like, it's like the same thing as if you just started streaking at like a regular park. Like you're gonna get something weird. Because it's weird. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
so there's that. This guy. An Ohio attorney was suspended over pooping in a Pringles can and leaving it in a parking lot.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. I mean, just whatever the logistics are for that act to have happened. Kind of interesting, but he's yeah, people were not happy about it. So he would poop in the Pringles can and then toss it into random places. And his defense is that he wasn't targeting anyone, but he had a habit of putting his feces in Pringles cans and randomly throwing them from his car, which, you know, he's calling it a prank, but at the very least you are littering and you admitted to it, you know, so that's illegal, you know.
That's so weird. It's like
Yeah.
he's like you're like at Fetishes Anonymous, and they're like, "What's your fetish?" "Hi, I'm Stan. I like to poop in Pringles containers." What?
Dude, this guy's been an attorney since 1976.
He's an attorney also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's an Ohio attorney. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the other thing. You'd think he would just know
Yeah.
that you're not allowed to do that. But, you know, whatever.
I love that.
So, pretty cool. Well,
Yeah, we got time.
yeah, this one's pretty funny. I mean, sad, but funny.
Oh,
Miami woman stabs her boyfriend in the eye with a rabies needle for looking at other women. First of all, where are you getting rabies needles from?
She's got to be like a vet tech, right?
Maybe. I didn't read that far ahead. I didn't. No, it doesn't even say.
Dude,
She just.
that's
yeah.
scary.
Yeah, that's kind of more scary to me than actually getting stabbed, is because it doesn't say how she got it, which means that she just fucking found a way to get one. Like, she bought it from somebody.
Dude, she
in a Walmart
had
parking
been
lot
waiting
or
for
something.
weeks for the opportunity. She's like, I got this motherfucker. You're gonna look at another girl in a restaurant one more time. That's it.
There's an ongoing argument that her and this man were having, that he's been looking at other women, and it escalated, obviously. She jumped on top of him with two rabies needles that were for their dogs. Oh, so they got it from a vet. And pierced his right eyelid. She was gonna go do both, probably, too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
She had two of them. Probably that slow, scary style, like from, you know, Saving Private Ryan.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I think that's crazy. I think it's crazy to get mad at somebody for looking.
Yeah.
If he was like calling or texting or like fucking other women, okay, I could get it.
Yeah.
But like, what would you like him to do? Close his eyes?
Yeah.
Just
I don't know. It's super weird because I've like interacted with people on like all sorts of ends of the spectrum.
yeah.
Like, I've been hanging out with like a couple that are friends of mine, and then like the girl pointing out girls' butts
Yeah.
and stuff. And then I've also like been around people who are like, I could never like be like, hey, significant other, check that girl out or whatever. And so I don't know. It does seem weird. Like, maybe just be like, all right, you got it. Now what? Like, you know?
I don't know. I've never dated a girl who was like, look at that butt. But I think if you just lean into it, it makes it
Yeah.
not weird. I don't know.
Yeah, or weirder depending on who you're around, I suppose.
People are crazy.
I can see both sides of it, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's just that. I pulled up that story of that British guy.
Yeah.
And I just saw British. So I clicked on it. So then I had to read all the depressing stuff again. The light bit of news that I have this week is that Henry Kissinger, former Secretary of State during the Nixon administration, has finally died at 100 years old.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Now, here's the deal. Kissinger, kind of like one of like the main people instrumental into like pushing further into the Vietnam conflict. Yeah, so that was like, organizing different bombing campaigns in Cambodia, and just there's a lot of really crazy stuff that he was kind of like behind the scenes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so he's finally dead, which is good news.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, time for everyone's favorite segment. Somehow I picked a good one for once. All right. Am I the asshole for fat shaming my roommate because she wouldn't stop talking about how fat America is?
Oh.
I, 25 female, am an American who has been living in London for about 6 months now. My roommate, B, 23 female, has been nice for the most part, and I've even come to enjoy her company. My only issue is that she always takes jabs at America. To clarify, I don't think America is above criticism, and I have no problem shooting the shit from time to time. When I first met her, I would laugh along and didn't feel any type of way about it. However, it's become too frequent, and as time has gone on, I've started to notice an obnoxious air of superiority every time she does this, which really makes me feel like it's not all in good fun anymore. She even refuses to believe me if I correct her when she says something untrue, i.e., when she said Americans are all so stupid because of all of your tests, because all your tests are multiple choice, and I told her that wasn't true, and she insisted that schools I went to must be different from most schools in America. Okay.
Yeah.
I've tried to go along with it as I don't want to be an overly sensitive person, but it's starting to get on my nerves. All of my frustrations came to a head last night when she started talking about how disgusting it was that America is so fat. A topic I've heard her talk about many times. I was in a bad mood and I still tried my best to ignore her, but she just kept going. I've always had to bite my tongue when she talks about America's obesity epidemic because B is overweight herself. That's like the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
America's disgusting. They're fat, and you're fat.
These
so.
fat pieces of shit. Where's my Twinkies? Continue, please.
I finally snapped and stopped biting my tongue and said, "Don't you think this is a little ironic?" She gave me a confused look and asked why she would think that. To which I replied, "Well, I'm an American and I'm a lot thinner than you."
Damn.
This conversation would make sense if you were the thin one.
Oh, fuck.
She absolutely exploded and told me I had no right to make comments about her body. Oh, what?
But you could do the same thing for 300 plus million people?
Yeah,
Okay,
a whole
got
country.
it.
Okay, good job. What the fuck? After that, she locked herself in her room, and now she refuses to talk to me. I made some beef stew for dinner tonight as a peace offering.
Oh, she fucking didn't.
Hey, I know I called you fat, but here's some food.
Here's some fucking beef stew, some slop for you. Fuck. She might as well just got her big old cake.
All right. But she still won't acknowledge my presence. I do feel bad about hurting her feelings, but I also feel like she shouldn't dish it if she can't take it. Am I the asshole?
Holy shit. Yeah, kinda, but it's not undeserved, I guess. Like, definitely an asshole move. You probably should have just taken the high road, because especially since you don't even live in America anymore, you probably could have just been like, yeah, fucking fat pieces of shit disgust me, and then like just said something like that, and then like been like, maybe shot her a side glance. Yeah, I fucking hate fat people too. And then just left it at that, because then you could have just been like, oh no, I thought we were talking about Americans. But there's something, I don't know, I feel like I've met the kind of person she's talking about too, where it's like, and that maybe it's just a cultural thing. Like, I do see a lot of foreign people on the internet like to like take those like really easy but often true shots about Americans in general, but usually it's not like it seems like this lady's obsessed about it. Like every time she gets a chance, she feels like she needs to make a comment on it, and like, kind of sounds like she might just hate her American roommate. Honestly,
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say B stands for bitch. All right, like
yeah, 100%.
like
She doesn't just bring that up for fun. She like just doesn't like you. I think maybe.
Yeah.
And this is. And honestly, since she's not talking to you anymore, you're probably gonna get like an eviction notice here soon. Like, if I could prophesize a little bit.
Yeah,
but-
I think you're both assholes. I think you and your roommate are both assholes. Your roommate's an asshole for a different reason. You're an asshole because.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, well deserved, but definitely an asshole move for sure. What did the people vote on that one?
People voted her not the asshole.
That's fair. I can see that. Like I can see that argument, but also.
Yeah, the
Really?
the top comment is, I had a friend exactly like this. She was from New Zealand, and every time we were together in New York City, she would talk shit about Americans being fat, stupid, etc. One time I snapped and said, "You realize everyone in my family is fat, right? You're insulting me to my face." Her response was to stare at me in bewilderment and say that she didn't mean me. She meant all the other fat Americans.
Yeah. I didn't want to be mean to your fat American family. What? Jesus. There's some like crazy compartmentalization going on here where people
Well,
maybe it is just a non-American thing where they're like, I can say this to you as an American and you should know that since I'm saying it to you, I'm not talking about you, but that seems like a weird thing to assume people are going to go, "Oh yeah." Like if somebody walked up to me and was like, "Dude, fucking gingers are like the biggest pieces of shit on the planet." You know what I'm saying? Like they're all just really dumb and don't have good hair and kind of just everybody hates them. And I'd be like,
what's that?
Yeah.
It's that similar thing that chicks do on the internet where they post about how their boyfriend is terrible and then they say men ain't shit. And then you just have a
Yeah.
bunch of dudes going, "I'm not shitty."
"Oh yeah, but not me, right?" No, especially you, actually. Only you, turns out. No.
It's honestly, this sounds like and I feel like it's a pretty common thing that people do. You'll see people like they'll be the most vocal about something they hate that they
Yeah.
themselves also do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a combination of where they're like, what is it called? I forget the fucking name of this thing every time I think about it, which is not good. Got a hole in my brain, I think.
It sounds
A projection.
Yeah,
Like they're projecting and also like generalization. Like they're combining those two things into one where they're like, all these fucking dudes out here, blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
But then it's like, it's probably something also that you're doing, maybe. I don't know. Like,
I think her roommate's doing it as a way to feel less insecure about the fact that she's overweight. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
she's probably also jabbing at her roommate, but she's also going, well, like, I feel bad about myself. I can just shit on this whole other country
Yeah.
because they're fat. And they're way worse than I am, even though I'm also overweight. So
Yeah. I would, I kind of wish that this person would have given us a little more, like, insight as to how fat her roommate is. She said overweight, which could mean anything, you know?
yeah,
Like, is she, like my 1,000-pound life overweight? Or, like, is she, like, I mean, a month away from working out and back into shape, you know what I mean?
No, she's probably like 5'5", 250. You know what I mean? Like,
She runs a 440, though, so... Hits like a Mack truck, I'll tell you that.
she plays rugby on the weekends, dude. The team needs
Yeah.
her.
Teed needs her. Scrums are tough, dude. She's all she's all knees and elbows out there. We gotta have her.
I don't know why, but I instantly thought of that dude that got famous from like oh man, I think it was the 90 Day Fiance. He's like that short, fat white dude that literally like
Big head?
He has no neck. Yeah,
Yeah, big head.
that's their girl form. That's her roommate. That's what B looks like.
Oh my god. You know what's so crazy is like watching that show, like that shows, for anybody that's listening, that shows my like my shit. That's my guilt, what do they call it?
Guilty pleasure.
guilty pleasure. That's what that is. That shows my guilty pleasure. And when they first like show Big Ed, you're like, "God, yeah, he's all fucked up. Like he's got this deformity he's been living with his entire life," and you start to like empathize, like, he's probably had it rough, you know. And then the way he interacts with like his multiple ladies, because the first one, she's like, "I'm not doing this shit. You're fucking crazy." But like eventually you start to see a pattern, and you're like, okay. Big Ed is kind of just a piece of shit, but he washed his hair with mayonnaise.
That
so,
was fucking so weird.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. You could just get like shampoo that has like the oils in it that mayonnaise has too, right? Like you don't have to use that. Oh man.
Oh man. We'd like to thank our friends, the Dutch and Denver podcast, the No New Friends podcast, Kicking It with the Kellys in the Remedy Room. All the links are down below in the description. That's linktree/WOKPOD. We also have a store for anybody who's listening. You could buy a t-shirt. You don't have to. If you don't want to give us any money, which is completely fine, tell a friend. If we made you laugh one time this episode, share this episode with a friend, and that's all we need.
Yeah. Word of mouth, that's the biggest thing, biggest helper. So do that. And that's it. I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Tip your bartender.